Such a beautiful morning. The dew glistens off the grass as it dries to the rising sun. Peace and tranquility is all what we desire in our lives. From the sounds of nature to the beautiful greenery, it's what sets this life far apart life in the big city. And all of us friends around the world are in search of a better life. We all dream of living a life that's worth living, and small farm life seems to bring us just a little bit closer to realizing that dream. With the gorgeous sun slowly rising and the sound of the crickets in the background and all the birds chirping, you know that you finally made it. You've made it so far into realizing your dreams come true. Now, the simple country life is definitely not for everyone. People who desire to get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city understand the effect that small farm life can have. And this is our story on how we came to this property in search of a better life. Hi, pigs. Whoa, what are you doing? All sleeping in a row, eh? Billy! I see you, Billy. You too, Bubby. Bubby. Hey, buddy. How are you? How are you, Uncle Rabbit? You okay, bud? You guys want to go outside? You want to go outside? You guys aren't going out? You want me to move, don't you? Don't you? Got some cucumber here for the Billy. Here. You like that, huh? Our cucumber's not quite ready yet on the vines, so my darling bought this cucumbers. They were only 99 cents, and that's because they're grown in Ontario. So they're locally grown, makes it a bit cheaper. When we import from southern United States or South America somewhere, you know, these things are like $2. Bubby, you want some cucumber, buddy? How about you, Rabbit? You want the cucumber? So it's been just over 3 years ago that my wife and I bought this 90-acre property. It wasn't a farm when we bought it. It was more of, I guess, a hobby farm type thing. The family that lived here had a couple horses, but they didn't have much else. We are in the process of developing this entire property and turning it into a farm stay and experience vacation rental. Want to come out today? So far, I think we're doing okay. We've slowly been building up our complement of farm-type animals. Of course, we have our two old English sheepdogs, Molly and Olive. And we have a whole slew of chickens. We have ducks. We have our guard geese. We have these mini pigs. We have rabbits. And overall, I'd say our experience has been pretty fair. We have a guest coming in again today. My darling's in the house. She's just doing some laundry and whatnot to get the house prepped for the next guest. And they're here for 4 nights, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good booking. And this farm stay vacation rental, short-term rental idea is really a great way to supplement your income to help develop the farm. Because, you know, starting a farm, starting a homestead from scratch, it can get quite expensive. To supplement your income and help support that, all the better. Look at all the meat chickens. They're just getting huge. This structure right here, that's the chicken house. It's the Chateau du Poulet, and basically it houses all of our flocks of chickens. We have 4 different flocks of chicken. We had 3, but we added one this year. So this is the Rhode Island Red flock. This is where we're keeping the meat birds right now. This is Elvis Presley's flock. There's just 2 Rhode Island chicks and a duckling in there. That's kind of like a brooder coop. This is the Barred Rock coop, but we also have a couple of white ducks and a bunch of little geese in here. They're training to be our guard geese for the chicken yard. Then we have Michael Jackson's flock right here. So that's a lot of birds. You remember Billy, don't you? Olive, no, you be nice. Hey, you be nice to the piglets. Hey, you be nice to the piglets, okay? Be nice. That was the very first time that any of the dogs has been close to the piglets. Billy was okay. I thought Billy might, be aggressive with the dog. But Olive kept her distance. She did pretty good. I'm proud of her. The piglets are all over there except for this one piglet here by Mama. That's the only brave piglet. The other guys took off. Let's get these other young geese out because they're stuck in that hut all night. Morning, geese. You guys okay? One of my favorite parts of my day is getting the ducks out to the orchard. I think they're so funny the way they waddle like a little duck army and they go all the way up to the water. It's fun. I think a huge part of my wife and I wanting to get out of the city and search for this better life, and of course it's only our idea of what a better life is, you know what I'm saying? Like some people will still live in a city and maybe they'll get a better place to live or they'll buy a fancier car, and to them that's building a better life. But for my wife and I, building a better life and endeavoring towards a better life meant getting out of the city. We were tired of the hustle and the bustle and the noise and the pollution and the crime and all the stuff that goes along with city life, But the other big thing for my wife and I is that we want to live a healthy lifestyle. We want to be somewhat active, Both her and I, we're not major into working out and exercising and jumping on the treadmill every day and that kind of stuff. But what I mean is active, hiking and biking and getting out in nature and camping and all the things that you can do when you're outside. And Canada is such a beautiful place to do these things in. Part of leading a more healthier lifestyle is understanding where your food comes from, or at least have a better understanding as to where your food comes from. You see this patch right here? It's a disaster. There's supposed to be pumpkins in here, but we don't even have one pumpkin fruit growing. Those back there are supposed to be sunflowers. They're not really doing that great. There's no flower buds even yet, and it's already August. It's like the middle of August. We should have sunflowers by now. There's watermelon in here. There's cantaloupe in here. But alas, the weeds have taken over and have somewhat stunted. They've stunted the fruitings. So it's very, very disappointing. People who live in cities, and we were one of them. We were one of the peoples that live in cities that had no idea what it takes to grow your food, what it takes to get the food to the grocery store, that kind of thing. We were those people. And we started watching documentaries and learning a little bit about the whole process. And it just, I don't know, it just makes you want to think about it. It just irks me a little. I can't believe that some of these tomatoes are red already. So the gist of my wife and I getting out of the city, that was, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, where we sold our house. We were living in Whitby, which is just on the east side of Toronto at the time. And we made good money on the house. I mean, we bought another house up here, not too far away from Barrie. And then, I don't know, several years after that, we bought the farm. We don't live at the farm. This is one of the things, of course. We're trying to run the farm as a business. But we do want to build a house on here one day. It's just not the right time, and we need a little bit more money. We're working on it, all in due time. But in the meantime, the garden is producing. These are all cucumbers. This right here, these big leaves right here, this is a tromboncino squash, and I don't see any squash, but I do see snow peas. There's one of the squash. Yes, so we do have the squash growing. Look how tall it is. It's taller than me. It's going up to the top of the trellis already. This is some squash, I tell you. I see a bunch of squash. Yes! A bunch. You can't see it on the other side, but on this side you can see it. Woo! Check out that squash right there. Yes! And this one. And this one. Whew, any more? There's one right here. Oh man, wait till my darling finds out about this. She's gonna come out into the garden once she's finished a little bit of work in the house. Yeah, we're getting squash. I'm so pumped. This is cool. Sun's gone. It sure feels like it's gonna rain any second. This cabbage is incredible. Now you know you made it to the big time if you got cabbage like that. You know what I mean? It feels so good and rewarding to be successful in the garden. I don't know. There's just something about growing your own stuff. It just feels good. Who doesn't like fresh tomatoes right off the vine? So juicy. Tomatoes is one of my favorite things from the garden. And we have a whole bunch of these Roma tomatoes. You know, the Roma tomatoes that you make pasta sauce out of. I'm super hopeful that we'll have enough of these Roma tomatoes to make our own ragu pasta sauce. Because, you know, for all you Americans out there, ragu, you know, the jar of ragu that you buy from the grocery store, it's no longer available for sale in Canada. That was our favorite. Whenever we went to the grocery store and bought pasta sauce, that was our favorite. And then they stopped selling it. So we need to make our own. Carrots are looking good. Onions are looking good. We still got green beans over there. We got a bunch of lettuce. See all the beans? Tomatoes are looking amazing. Look at the eggplant. Look at the eggplant. Oh, baby. Got some young tomatoes over here, but they may not give us anything. We got a whole bunch of peas that we started in succession the other day. They're all doing great. We got a bunch of baby spinach growing in here. You can see the spinach? The corn seems to be growing some corn. See, the sulks are all there, but the problem is it's so short. All those flowers are going to turn into cucumbers. Cucumbers are doing really well right now. Looks like we got some growing right here. There's some little small ones. There's a big one right there. It just makes you feel all mushy inside, you know? Very rewarding, like unexpectedly rewarding. We hadn't even thought that making a 100-foot garden with all this labor and work would make us feel this proud and accomplished and make me want to stick out my peacock chest and just crow because I'm so proud, you know? And all you gardeners out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Now, because we have a decent-sized property here, we are 90 acres, we planted a mini orchard. We're not really getting a whole lot of fruits from these trees yet because, as you can see, they're just small young trees. There may be 1, 2, 3, 4 fruits on them, and that's about it, and that's because they're still very young. But we thought ahead and planted these right away so that they can start growing. We now have 40 trees, and it's a combination of apples, pears, plums. There's a couple peaches, cherry trees. There's chestnut, walnut. So, you know, this is not for production. This is not for selling, you know, but this is for us and for the animals. And this was our intention in planning out and developing the farm. Bubbles! There you go. Like many people around the world, searching for a better life, just like we are, I'd like to think that we found it. I'd like to think that this property of ours, this little piece of paradise, is the small farm life that we were dreaming about. So far, we feel like it is. We've been developing it really strategically, and we're really pleased with the way it's turning out. Told you it's gonna rain. This is putting a damper on my day. All the piglets came inside. They don't like the rain. And we hope that maybe this video can be some inspiration for anybody out there who is dreaming about this life. You got to continue to work hard, continue saving up your money, continue planning out where exactly you want to get your property, and then slowly work towards fulfilling your dream.
Oh my God,
They're so shiny, eh? They're beautiful. See, that's one of the huge differences between chickens and ducks. All the chickens are inside the chicken house. They don't want to deal with the rain, but the ducks, they don't care. They love the rain. They hang around in the rain, and they just enjoy life in the rain. I got a really good video if you want to watch here. It kind of recaps all what we've done on the property, and I think it's a little fun. And for all you new subscribers out there, thank you so much. For all you pre-existing subscribers, thank you so much, because you guys are all helping me build this channel. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers now. I just need to work on making the videos a little more interesting so that I'll get more of those 100,000 people watching the videos, and I think I'm getting towards doing that. So hopefully you guys are liking the channel, you're liking what we're doing here on the farm, you like me, and you guys take care, and we'll see you on the next episode, okay? Thank you for watching.